Rational means that something can be written as a fraction, whether that is just numbers or an expression. So, and when we simplify rational expressions, we want to divide out any common factors that the numerator has with the, what's the bottom part called? What? Yes. So number one, this is the first page of your notes, okay? Number one is, what can you divide out of 12 and 48? Yep. So 2, but there's also a greater number than 2. 12 goes into 12 and 48, right? So 12 divided by 12 will just be 1, and what's 48 divided by 12 will be 4, and we'll still have y and y cubed. Can we cross anything else out? Is there a common factor? Yeah, we can divide out 1y from each, so we'll divide out 1y here, divide out 1y, so it'll be y squared. So then our final answer for number 1 will be just 1 over 4y squared. Looking at number 2, what is a common factor of 21 and 35? What's the greatest common factor? 7. So we can divide them both by 7. 7 goes into 21. 3 times 7 goes into 35 5 times. And then they also have a common variable, because we can divide out an a from both of them and a b, right? So the only thing left in the numerator is 3 over, in the denominator, we just have a 5 times b to the first. Okay, so we have just divided out common factors. Now looking at number 3, though, let's factor first. Can we factor n plus 6 anymore? Nope, so that's just going to stay n plus 6. And then can we factor something out of 3n plus 18? What? A 3. And what's left once we factor out a 3? N plus 6. So now that everything's factored, then we can look at, well, n plus 6 is a common factor, so we can cross those out. And then what's left in the numerator? If it's nothing, what will it always be? A 1, okay? Because it's always 1 times something. So 1 over 3. Okay, and it's not 3 because 3 is in the denominator. Okay, so that's why it's 1/3 instead of 3. Okay, let's look at number 4. Oh, scroll down here. Okay, looking at number 4, you cannot just cross off the 4's here. Okay, what I suggest that you do is you factor everything out that you can. So what can you factor out of the numerator? 4x minus 4. You can factor out a 4 from everything, right? And then we'll have x minus 1. And then we can also factor a 4 out of the denominator. And what will be left once we factor out a 4? X plus 1. So now that you've factored a 4 out from everything, then we can cross off these 4's. And we'll have x minus 1 times x plus 1. You cannot cross off these x's because they don't have a common factor of x. Okay? So that would be our answer. That one is just a 1/3. Okay? Okay, let's look at number 5. Y squared minus 64. Can we factor that? Yes, because it's a difference of 2 perfect squares. So then we take the square root of each, and one's plus and one's minus. So what's the square root of y squared? Y. What's the square root of 64? So one will be plus 8, one will be minus 8. And then the denominator of y plus 8, we cannot factor any further, so it's just y plus 8. Then we have a common factor of y plus 8. So those will divide out to be 1, and we'll have y minus 8 left over. Question on that one? Okay, let's look at number 6. How can we factor the numerator on number 6? Since it's a trinomial and this is 1, then we can just go factors of negative 18 that add up to negative 7. So what are the factors of negative 18 that add up to negative 7? Yeah, we have 1 and 18, 2 and 9, right? 3 and 6. So it'd have to be, which one's negative to add up to negative 7? Negative 9 and positive 2. So then we'll just write k minus 9 times k plus 2 over k minus 9, which we can't factor anything out. So then we have a common factor of k minus 9s, and our answer is just what? K plus 2. Okay, I want everyone to start 7 on your own. Factor as much as you can. And then cross out your common factors. How do we factor z squared minus 1? What problem is it? What type of problem? A difference? Is it subtract of 2? What? You guys can wake up. Are they both perfect squares? Z squared's a perfect square. Is 1 a perfect square? Yes. So then you just take the square root of each, and one's plus, one's minus. So it'll be z plus 1 times z minus 1. Then we have a common factor of z plus 1s. And since z minus 1 is in the denominator, will my answer be z minus 1 or 1 over z minus 1? Good. 1 over z minus 1. Okay? All right, everyone start number 8 on your own, please. All right, the numerator of x plus 6, can we factor that at all? Nope, so we're just going to leave that as x plus 6. But the denominator, since that's 1, then we can just go factors of negative 24 that add up to 2. So, bless you. So positive 6 and a negative 4, right? They add up to positive 2 and multiply to be negative 24. So then we can cross out well, if it was a positive 4 and a negative 6, then they would add up to negative 2, not positive 2. So that's why we want 6 positive, right? So then when we cross those out, what did you get for your final answer, Vanessa? Awesome. 1 over x minus 4. Good. Questions so far? Okay, let's do another problem or two, but on our assignment here.